Hi, on this World Cancer Day, um, it's an honor for us to dedicate ourselves towards launching our own unique cancer care plan. This cancer care plan brings all the strengths of 1mg together, making sure that we offer an end to end comprehensive holistic plan that basically becomes the partner of any patient going through the entire journey of dealing with cancer, whether it is the clinical therapy, whether it's the disease protocol or and things like that, the financial side of things, how to deal with it, access the available options, patient access programs, support programs, financing options, insurance schemes, etc., or accessing your healthcare services at the right price with the best quality. Across this entire spectrum, Tata 1mg is committed to play its role. And today, as a part of the World Cancer Day, we are very proud that the teams across the company have come together to create what should be the most empathetic cancer care program for the country. This World Cancer Day, the theme is very appropriately closing the care gap. That's pretty much in line with what we intend to create, the care gap for cancer, which unfortunately exists. Dealing with cancer is one big pain. Dealing with the environment around the entire ecosystem that you have to deal with to get your cancer care is a pain in itself. That is what we hope to alleviate as we work with patients, doctors, caregivers, and the entire ecosystem, bringing them together, stitching it into one offering that works for you. So, on this World Cancer Day, Tata 1mg is proud to dedicate itself towards playing its part in the journey towards closing the care gap. Cancer as a condition is a significantly difficult condition, not only for the patient, also for the entire ecosystem around. The family, friends, caregivers. It's a pretty tough situation that we all deal with. As an individual, I've seen a lot of friends, family members go through the entire process of dealing with cancer, some successfully, some not. In every case, what we find is there is too much chaos, too much confusion, too much uncertainty. That emotional pain, that mental discomfort, that lack of control, being unsure about what's going with you and how it is going to turn out, whether the rest of the ecosystem is in your interest or playing their own game. It's always a very tough situation, and as a human, as an individual, it does feel this can be done better. And we certainly hope that the teams at Tata 1mg are going to step up and make it easier, better, and much more humane as an experience as we bring transparency, bring quality, bring trust into the delivery of cancer care. Very happy to announce that we are launching our cancer care program with a single objective, making cancer care as seamless, as easy, as efficient, as comfortable as it can be. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gaurav Agarwal, and I'm the co-founder and CTO at Tata 1mg. Cancer is a blight of our generation. It affects millions of patients and millions of families every year. It's a merciless disease that just leaves destruction in its wake. In our country, in India, not only is the burden of the disease very high, but we also detect this disease very late, often at terminal stages. When a patient is diagnosed with cancer, his family often faces a lot of challenges understanding and gathering information about the right doctor, the right treatment, the right therapy, the right center. And an already burdensome disease becomes a huge toll on not just the patient, but his whole social ecosystem. Today on World Cancer Day, I'm really excited to announce our first step towards solving this problem with the launch of 1mg's Cancer Care Clinic.
Hey, guys at Tata 1mg, congratulations. You're doing a stellar job with your cancer platform. Help us all. Help my patients. Help everyone. Wonderful work.
Hi, folks.
as we observe Cancer Day today, to raise awareness about this deadly and dreaded disease, I wanted to say a few things. The cancer disease burden is increasing across the world, including India. Leading cancers like lung cancers and breast cancers are devastating to patients as well as their family members and loved ones. It is extremely important that we are cognizant of this and get ourselves diagnosed regularly. There are many stats that mention that early detection of disease can help in timely intervention as well as curing. Anyone who has gone through this journey understands what a psychological toll it takes, not just on the patient, but as well as family members and loved ones. So let's all join hands together to make sure that we'll continue our fight against cancer, and eventually we want to make this a cancer-free world. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Raj Kore, CEO of HCG, India's largest and leading cancer care provider with 25 hospitals. The problem of increasing incidence in India is further intensified by suboptimal outcomes compared to global counterparts in all major types of cancers. While these gaps and these challenges may seem daunting, together we can change it by forging alliances, by uniting voices, and by taking action. I'm heartened to see TATA 1mg joining this cause with their cancer care program, and I wish them all the success in this endeavor. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Swati Mishra. Being a part of the cancer care core team at TATA 1mg, it's a moment of great pride and immense pleasure in launching the dedicated cancer care platform. While we all embarked on this journey, the single objective that we had in our minds was that we should be able to empower people, families, and friends affected by cancer at various touchpoints in their journeys and take away the enormous confusion and lack of control that comes with the diagnosis of cancer. Being an integral part of this journey and launching the platform has been both an incredible learning experience and an emotionally rewarding one. While we are still improvising, we really hope that this step of ours brings us one step closer to bridging the gap between cancer and care. Stay healthy.
In 2011, my uncle got diagnosed with lung cancer. It was one of the most painful times for us as a family. When I think of this story of mine, I feel that many things could have been done differently. But at the end of it, it's just the fact that we were so clueless about most of the things. As a family, we felt extremely lost. Fast forward to now, when I'm actually working in healthcare since about 4 years. And by God's grace, we've got this opportunity to work on cancer care. We've surrounded by great team members, people who really are very, very passionate about this subject, and a core team that really thinks that bringing information credible and at the right time to families and patients can make a huge difference. I know inside that this is what is needed, and I know that if it were there, we as a family would have felt a lot of support. So I'm so proud of the team which has been working non-stop to bring together all of these things which a cancer family and a cancer patient would need. Things like how to search for a doctor, which hospital is better, what does it even mean to get a biopsy done. All of these information are being relayed through our cancer care platform, which is getting launched today. And more than the professional pride that I feel, I personally feel that it's a blessing from God that I'm here today and I'm able to contribute in my very, very small way to this new initiative at TATA 1mg. I'm very glad that TATA 1mg and the teams around us have taken this initiative to dive deeper into cancer care, because I think that is what is most needed. And I'm very certain that as months unfold, we will make cancer care much more affordable, accessible, and understandable by all Indians.
The platform is built in accordance with noble Tata ethos, patient empathy, and with the sole purpose of helping patients to fight against the terrible disease. The platform will provide all the above information that I said and services to the patient either directly or through very deeply integrated partners and the entire ecosystem such as ACCF, TMH, TMC. On top of this, we are also designing the cancer care programs that we will keep rolling out and keep sharing information with you. For this, we would require utmost support from all the leading oncologists present at the summit and also those who are associated with ACCF. I will now unveil the platform and take you all through the platform. This is the first time that we are actually showing it to the external world rather than our team. Search engine or browser 1mg.com/cancercare/home or just /cancercare. And you will see this platform wherein you can find information to search for cancer specialists near you, get financial support, book tests for cancer near you, or it could be a home collection-based phlebotomist network.
Getting to know that you or a loved one has cancer is one of the toughest and most painful situations to be in. Even before one begins to look for treatment and cure options, it's really overwhelming and there's a lack of control, emotional trauma, and enormous confusion in the ecosystem. That said, it gives us immense pleasure to launch our comprehensive cancer care platform on this World Cancer Day. This is a first of its kind online platform that aims to be a one-stop destination for people and families affected by cancer to access reliable and accurate information curated by a team of experts. This cancer care portal is designed by an expert editorial team at TATA 1mg under the guidance of oncology experts to provide them with an in-depth guidance at various steps of treatment and cancer journey. This platform, as you can see, comprises information regarding different types of cancers, prominent oncologists in different cities, patient support and access programs, and NGOs working in the field, to name a few. Let us give you a quick walkthrough of this extremely helpful platform. You can look for what you are searching for under this panel by searching for the related assistance, or you can look for a particular assistance under a particular type of cancers. For now, 8 types of cancers are covered in here. You can also come to this platform and look, read, and watch medical information vetted by experts. You can come to this platform and find top doctors. Cancer treatment is also one of the most expensive ones. You can come to this platform and figure out what are the financial schemes available in your states, what are the eligibility criteria, and what is the cap that they cover. Apart from this, you can also explore this platform to find which are the crowdfunding platform you can create fundraising campaigns on. Furthermore, you can find information around different patient support programs. In addition to all these useful features, this platform also has a detailed directory of NGOs that are working and doing great work in the field of cancer care. We have listed NGOs and also specified their area of work just to rightly match your area of need. Beyond finding a right cancer specialist, finding information on financial support, patient support programs, or cancer care NGOs, you can also utilize this platform to book cancer test. In case you want to get screening tests done for early detection of cancers, you can explore the platform. Also, Tata 1mg has curated 2 exclusive packages called pre-chemotherapy package and post-chemotherapy package. Usually, at the onset of chemotherapy, oncologist or your medical expert can prescribe you a specific sets of tests. Similarly, you can be asked to undergo a bunch of tests while undergoing your chemotherapy. These 2 exclusively curated packages help you book a bunch of tests at one go without any additional hassles. Plus, it comes with extraordinary trust of Tata 1mg labs, 100% safe and hygienic, home sample pickup. You can view your reports online. There's also follow-up free doctor consultation, and of course, best prices guaranteed. We really hope this comprehensive cancer care platform will help bridge the gap between cancer and care and empower people with cancer, their families and friends in finding right information and access quality care at the right time. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy.
But when we started, we got to know that patients were getting stuck where how to diagnose the cancer, or after diagnosing the cancer, what is the next step.
I think the whole experience makes us feel, Jaya, please keep sharing. We can
Yeah,
just continue over here.
sure.
I think the whole experience makes one feel less alone. It's been unfortunate, but, I know two people, acquaintances of my family who got recently diagnosed with cancer. And, I think in the absence of information of this sort, uh, if you don't have access to quality care or professionals who can guide you as a patient, you might end up feeling very lost. And knowing that there is a portal like this, knowing that we have embarked on a journey, we have committed to a journey wherein we want to make a complete ecosystem of care around which in which we've taken the first big step. I think as someone from 1mg who works with Tata 1mg, wherein our motto is to make healthcare affordable, accessible, this I just feel very strongly that this is something which will help people get more information about cancer as a whole, makes it so much accessible, right? So very kind of grateful to have been part of this project. And I having seen such an instance in my acquaintance circle recently, I can only imagine the kind of impact this will have. Here's looking forward to making a big impact on people's lives, and committing to doing this in the long term as well. So that's how I feel about this program. So when
Yep. So I agree with the sentiment you ended on, that we'll work on this long term. So this is just the beginning, and we can only improve from here on out. And also in terms of the quality of information that we are giving, a lot of the information on the website currently is very hard to find otherwise. So I've spoken to people who dealt with cancer in their families, and some of the information on the website is something they'd never come across before. Like some of the patient support and patient assistance program information that we're giving is just not easily available online. Also, in terms of the cancer testing that we are offering, so that's a huge problem in India currently. So if we say that there are 1.3 million people diagnosed with cancer in India currently, there's probably 5 times as many people with cancer in India who have not been diagnosed. So that's something very important, and I think moving forward that will become a very important and crucial part of the website.
So adding over here and speaking as someone whose very close relative was detected with cancer recently. So one of the first things when I did was when I was made aware of the fact that somebody very close is suffering from cancer, I just searched online. That is the one of the first instincts to gather information about what it is, what type of cancer it is, what are the next steps, how is it going to be, what will be the survival rate. Those were some of the first questions which comes to the mind of a person who's someone close is suffering from cancer. So I think this is our attempt to contribute as much as possible to make the life of a cancer patient easier, and their journey more, uh, support them in their journey,
support them, yeah.
support them in this journey. So
Very Siddharth, I think I just want to further reinforce on the point that Siddharth mentioned. Uh, with this cancer care platform, we aim to further extend our mission of making healthcare understandable, accessible, and affordable. And super soon, in the backdrop, we are also working on building a cancer care program which which aims to be like a comprehensive cancer care assistance program which offers holistic care as well as quality care services to people around different areas in different at different touch points in their cancer journeys. They can include second opinions or even scheduling appointment with pioneers hospital partners in India or even abroad. Alongside that, I just want to specifically mention one more thing. The entire cancer care ecosystem is quite complicated as yet. at least I'm speaking from the patient side of it, and someone who has seen a close relative dealing with such a condition. Uh, and also as a clinician, I think I can mention that this is a complex area to be solved. It appears like that until as yet, but this is just the first step in solving this complex problem. We really hope that uh, this is the right direction to uh, begin the right kind of work, and we really seek support and encouragement and feedbacks from other ecosystem partners as well as to how we can further improvise comprehensive cancer care in India. So that will be my end note.
This World Cancer Day, it won't be out of place to remind you about the nasty, the malicious role of lifestyle in the creation and production of cancer. What all kinds of cancers have an etiology from your lifestyles. And when I talk about lifestyle, I'm not talking about things like fashion and what cars you wear, what houses you live in. I'm talking about very, very simple things. I'm talking about having the right kind of food, which is balanced, making sure that you exercise your body properly so that you don't get obese and create a risk factor for cancer. I'm talking about killing smoking, getting it out of your life, out of your environment. And if there are not, don't smoke yourself, but also don't let people around you smoke, impress them, because you're going to get a part of that secondhand smoke, as you're aware. So get it out of your environment. No smoking, alcohol in moderation. There are clearly laid down guidelines. Access them. They're all on the net. Find out how much is okay. And you'll be shocked to know that most of us go beyond those limits. We have a I don't care attitude. But I can tell you, when the same people land up across the table with a diagnosis of cancer, they don't fare as well. You can see the desperation, all of us. And why shouldn't we? All of us want to live better. We want to live more and enjoy this beautiful life that has been given to us. So let's make sure that happens. No tobacco, alcohol in moderation, the right kind of food, exercise. Very, very simple things. I'm not sermonizing to you. Believe me, after having been a cancer care provider, I should actually be saying these things like a madman, because I've seen how important they are. Genes you cannot control. Oh, well, you may be able to control genes also in the near future, but that's another chapter altogether. Genes are responsible, but more important, lifestyle. Lifestyle, friends, it's up to you. Let's do it this World Cancer Day.
Hi, my name is Prashant Tandon. I'm the co-founder and CEO of TATA 1mg. Today we would talk about cancer. Cancer is one of the most debilitating conditions out there. It's not just a huge disease burden, it's also a huge emotional, mental, financial burden for not only the patient but also the family. As TATA 1mg, we've been studying this space, trying to understand if we can make a difference, and we believe we can. I believe the time has come for us to put together a really high quality cancer care plan that can help patients navigate this condition in a much more comforting, human, and comfortable way as much as possible. As TATA 1mg, over the last few years, we have been building the basic building blocks for care, providing care at home. Specifically with respect to cancer, we now work with some of the largest cancer hospitals. We work with pretty much all the key large pharma companies that produce the medicines that treat cancer. We work with all the large diagnostic labs that are equipped to deal with and provide highest quality of cancer diagnostics. And of course, our bread and butter, our key strength is the supply chain. providing those medicines, delivering them to the patients where they need, providing the collection service to make sure that the samples are taken from the patients and delivered to the lab in the best possible way, and also providing unfiltered, high quality, transparent content that the consumer needs, especially when dealing with a condition of such huge uncertainty as cancer. So now, as TATA 1mg, what we have decided to do is to put all these capabilities together and add a few more. Cancer requires active work on three aspects. These are three key pain points in the minds of all patients and their caregivers. Firstly, am I getting the right treatment? Is the treatment plan the best possible option for me? Is that done in my clinic? Clinically, is it in my interest? Is there a better option available out there, maybe somewhere else in the country or anywhere in the world? At least I should know about it. TATA 1mg will make that information accessible and that connection possible. The second big pain point we feel cancer patients deal with is the financial burden. How are we going to support this treatment? Are we getting the right price for the right treatment that we are trying to get? Are there better options out there? Are there cheaper options out there? Are there NGOs, patient support programs, patient access programs, government insurance schemes? And there are a lot of those out there. Just putting all of that information and all of that connect together is something that is extremely important. And we at TATA 1mg have put in all the effort and all our resources together to make sure that it's a one-stop destination for cancer patients. You will get to know pretty much everything you need to know about cancer care, and that information will help you decide what's the best possible option that works for you. The third big part is authenticity and quality. For the money that is being spent for a disease as critical as cancer, for the money that is spent for a disease as critical as cancer, you cannot take a chance. Medicines have to be genuine. They have to be stored in proper conditions. You have to make sure that you have the comfort that you are getting your money's worth. So authenticity of your treatment, of your care across the entire supply chain is critically important. And that's why we work directly with pharma companies to try and make sure we get the authentic medicines through a certified supply chain right to the customer. All these are very, very important parts, and really trying to solve for a few simple things. Firstly, dealing with the disease itself is such a big pain. Dealing with the environment around, being second guessing all the time and wondering if anyone else has your interest in mind is actually becoming a bigger pain, and it should not be. That's where we believe as TATA 1mg we have a role to play. Another very important aspect about cancer care, the disease burden is growing, and India has the unfortunate situation where our 5-year mortality rate in cancer is almost 70%, while the developed world, the equation is exactly opposite. It's a 70% survival rate. How do we turn this around? Why is this the case? The key reason actually is late diagnosis in India. We need early screening, we need early detection, and we need early treatment. And once detected, we need the right treatment protocols. All patients deserve a high quality experience of going through the right set of options out there, so that they actually can increase their chance of living a fully recovered, healthy life. They have a better shot at survival than what is offered today. And it's all doable, it's all possible. We are committed to doing it, and I am very glad that teams across the company have come together to put together this cancer care program, which we hope will not only be the highest quality, highest reliability, and program built on clinical excellence, it will also be the most empathetic and humane program, with counselors who will handhold and guide you along the way, people that you will find partners in your journey as you deal with this condition, and hopefully we will play our little role in alleviating whatever pain we can. We hope to be a partner in this journey. We hope we can make a difference, and we look forward to your feedback, your support as we build this out, as we learn, as we grow. We are on a journey. It's not a short-term solution. It is something we learn every day. How do we get better each day? But I'm sure the first step is going to be a very, very decisive, very, very important. Most importantly, it's a committed step. We are in this for the long term, and we will make that difference. Thank you.
Hi everyone. On this World Cancer Day, today we at TATA 1mg would like to share with you how we are contributing to the lives of cancer patients. As per the National Cancer Registry, 1 in every 9 individual is diagnosed with cancer, and this number is even more, we all know about it. As per over the last many years of working in this space, what we have realized, there are three key challenges three key challenges that the patients have to face during this cancer journey: lack of awareness, lack of accessibility, and financial management. Today, we'll be all talking about these challenges more in detail, and what is it that we at TATA 1mg are doing to contribute in this space.
First one is lack of awareness. So lack of awareness about what is cancer, what are the symptoms, lack of awareness about what cancer as a disease is, lack of awareness about early diagnosis and detection, which is also the key for the better treatment and the outcome. Awareness about various PEP and PSP programs running across the country, lack of awareness about the oncologists in vicinity, and lack of awareness about various schemes run by state and central government.
We at TATA 1mg have come up with a solution to increase the awareness. We are launching a cancer care program where all these details of all the cancer issues, the schemes, the solutions is available.
Coming to second, which is lack of accessibility. Coming through lack of information, lack of reliable diagnostics for these patients, lack of proper treatment, and lack of authentic medicines which are available.
We at TATA 1mg are running 85 plus patient access and assistance program. We are also providing education to patients about cancer, access to diagnostic, and access to authentic medicines at home.
Third challenge is financial management of cancer. Management of cancer is very, very expensive, and even for very well off and for higher tier socioeconomic strata patients, management of cancer can be very, very exhaustive. In the financial management, there are three major areas. One part is affordability, that is not able to afford the medicine or the treatment. Second part is liquidity. Although patient or caregiver may afford the treatment, they may not be having immediate availability of the funds. In the financial management, there are three major. May afford the treatment, they may not be having immediate availability of the funds. In the financial management, there are three major areas. One part is affordability, that is not able to afford the medicine or the treatment. Second part is liquidity. Although patient or caregiver may afford the treatment, they may not be having immediate availability of the funds. And third part is uncertainty about the treatment outcomes. We at TATA 1mg are providing solution around all these three areas. For solving the problem around affordability, we provide information to the patient about various patient assistance or support programs running across country. We provide information to the patient about various state and government schemes that can help in financing these situations. And we also provide financial counselings to the patient in terms of how finances can be better managed in such situation, and provide information about different insurance schemes that patient may be having, how patient can utilize those insurance better. To solve the problem of liquidity, we provide various collateral-free healthcare loans to the patient. and in collaboration with various pharma companies to solve the problem of uncertainty around treatment outcomes, we run certain payback schemes wherein patient receives money back in case appropriate treatment outcomes are not achieved.
We at TATA 1mg believe that cancer care is not just about treatment, it's a holistic and integrated solution. That's why we are providing various value-added services like vaccination at home, various kinds of counseling, nutritional counseling, psychosocial counseling, physiotherapy, yoga, and financial counseling as well. So we have taken this journey to make cancer care more accessible, affordable, and raise awareness on this journey. We'll invite you all to join us on this journey.
करेंगे हम,
गारंटी है हमारी, क्योंकि
हम हैं टाटा 1mg.
Hello everyone, I am Archana Katoch and I am daughter of a cancer survivor. In 2015, my father started having back problems and we went to multiple orthopedic doctors and none of them was able to treat them. Multiple x-rays once done, reports were taken, but the result was nothing. In 2016, we went to a very experienced orthopedic doctor and by just looking at my father's condition, he asked for an MRI. He went to the MRI personally in the hospital and he came out and he said that your father has multiple myeloma. It will not be visible in the X-ray, but you need to start getting the treatment and you should consult a cancer doctor. So in the report, obviously it came negative for multiple myeloma, but we made a mistake of holding on to hope and not accepting the fact that he might have cancer. We went to another doctor for another opinion and he also said the same thing. So we went in for the treatment. The first treatment was a complete disaster. His condition got worse and then we started looking for another doctor. Unfortunately, this time we got a very good doctor. He has already treated multiple cancer patients and his results were also very good. Cancer might give you an opportunity to value that person more. You kind of neglect people or your close relatives at times, but when you know that person has cancer and you have a time that he might not survive or anything, then you tend to spend more time with that person and you say things that like just a simple I love you, and it feels great that you are able to communicate that you have a lot of love and respect for that person. So I think even though it has many negatives, I think this is the only positive or silver lining that I have been able to see. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I am Arnav Kumar. I am from Delhi. Today I want to share one experience about cancer. So हमारे neighbor हैं, he is my friend. So उसकी मम्मी को कैंसर था. She had breast cancer. बीमारी भले कोई भी हो, हमें अंदर से लड़ना चाहिए. बीमारी को हराने का सिर्फ एक ही तरीका होता है, अगर हम उससे लड़ें. अगर हम उससे नहीं लड़ेंगे सो मे बी वो हमें हार्म कर सकती है, लेकिन अगर हम उससे डट के फाइट करें सो मे बी हम उस बीमारी को जड़ से खत्म कर सकते हैं. एंड टुडे शी इज टोटली फाइन. वो मतलब जैसे नॉर्मल होते हैं सब लोग वैसे ही शी इज लिविंग नॉर्मली.
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम धीरेन्द्र है. मैं टाटा 1mg में रोस्ट पेशेंट सपोर्ट प्रोग्राम में एज अ हेल्थ कोच काम करता हूँ. सो आपको जैसे पता है कैंसर एक बहुत घातक बीमारी है. बहुत से लोग इस बारे में अवेयर नहीं होते हैं. तो जो लोग मेंटली इस चीज़ को साइकेट्रिक सपोर्ट नहीं मिल पाता है, कोई फाइनेंशियली सपोर्ट नहीं मिल पाता है, तो हम लोग यहाँ पे टाटा 1mg में एज अ रोज पेशेंट सपोर्ट प्रोग्राम में उनको असिस्टेंट प्रोवाइड करते हैं. सो आपको उसमें डरने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, घबराने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. टाटा 1mg ऑलवेज विद यू. तो मैं आपको सजेस्ट करूंगा कि इस कैंसर डे पे आप लोग फिट रहें और अवेयर रहें और हमारे अगर आपको किसी भी चीज़ का रिक्वायरमेंट है मेडिसिन से रिलेटेड, काउंसलिंग से रिलेटेड, और हम साथ के साथ आपको डाइट काउंसलिंग भी प्रोवाइड करते हैं यहाँ पे, लाइक डाइट काउंसलिंग, न्यूट्रिशनल काउंसलिंग, साइकोलॉजिकल काउंसलिंग.
Hello everyone, I'm Divya Pujari, a patient advocate at WeCare Foundation. WeCare is a 29-year-old patient support organization dedicated to provide hope and awareness to cancer patients and their caregivers through various outreach programs. And with the help of a pharmaceutical company, WeCare has been able to help patients below poverty line with targeted therapies. Till date, WeCare has helped about 2,000 such patients. And we at WeCare believe in empowering cancer patients with care. So never underestimate the power of cooperation and collective actions to save lives. Let's speak up, stand up and take action this World Cancer Day. So this year, let's close the care gap and aim for a cancer-free world.
My message to everyone on World Cancer Day would be to demand advocacy for children with cancer. Childhood cancer is curable. Childhood cancers are some of the most curable cancers in the world. Every child has the right to live. They should have access to the right care at the right time. Let us all work towards this goal so that no child in our country dies from cancer anymore. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Manish Tiwari from Karkinos Healthcare, Kolkata. Today we are celebrating World Cancer Day. On this day, I would like to share a few tips about oral cancers with you. Number 1. The most common cause of oral cancers is consumption of tobacco. So stop using tobacco. Number 2. Stay vigilant about your oral health. Do not ignore anything abnormal in your mouth. Number 3. Consult your oncologist immediately if you have a white or red spot or a non-healing ulcer in your mouth for more than 2 weeks. Remember, cancer can be cured if detected early. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Meghla Chandra. I'm a senior consultant in medicine. And through this video, I wanted to share a very personal story of mine of a colleague who recently passed away from kidney cancer. As a doctor and as a friend, I wanted to create more awareness about this particular cancer. My colleague was only 38 years old, and his legacy is now carried by his 2-month-old daughter and his beautiful wife. We worked together for almost 5 years in the same hospital, and he was a brilliant doctor. So this one is for him.
Hello, this is Moni Kuriakos. I am a cancer surgeon as well as serving Karkinos Healthcare as its medical director. As we all know, the theme of World Cancer Day is closing the care gap. It's a major challenge we are facing in India because 1 in 8 of us will develop cancer in India. And that number is likely to go up to 1 in 4 that is observed in the developed nations. Just the last part, delete and then just add this one. So I strongly believe that technology will play a major role in closing the care gap. Thank you so much and wishing you all a very productive World Cancer Day.
Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Aman Priya Khanna, co-founder at Hexa Health. I've been working as a surgeon for the last 10 years and operated on a lot of cancer patients. Very recently, one of our colleagues and a very dear friend all of a sudden was diagnosed with oral cancer, and the next 3 weeks were very troubling for the family, of course. What we need to realize as a human being is that the patient and the family needs our support, needs our conversations, needs our joyness and the jolliness, that we can talk to them, we can bring things to normalcy so that they are able to go through the whole journey of fighting cancer, of getting the surgery done, of getting the chemotherapy or the radiation. Medical treatment is, of course, going to do what they can, have protocols in place. However, as a human, I think we should give that support to the family and the patient, be their friend, and not just through a message or through say a voice note, but go to them, meet them in person, give them that strength that yes, everything is going to be normal, because that quality of life that they need post surgery and post chemo is what will keep them going, and that quality also comes with having friends who are supportive all throughout. So this World Cancer Day, I hope all of us will tell the human inside us to be that friend to that patient.
Hi, this is Dr. Arun. Basically, I'm a clinical pharmacologist subbing patients of cancer to the TATA Medical Center, Kolkata, which is a renowned cancer institute of our country. I believe that cancer is a curable disease. My primary goal is to achieve the highest level of medication safety. I believe that through achieving the highest level of medication safety, we can minimize the care gap of the patient. And I wish a cancer-free world to everyone. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Madhumita. I'm working with Pelvis. So on a daily basis we receive so many medicine requests from patients, but most recently I remember there was a patient who requesting me to dispatch her medicine as soon as possible because she was out of her medicine. So I contacted with my team and told them to dispatch her medicine as soon as possible, but fortunately her address was registered with us, so we successfully delivered her medicine within 1 day, and the patient was very thankful to me and given our explanation as well. Thank you.
Our organization started with a few few points, like we must be able to provide emotional support, we must be able to provide information, we must be able to be with the patient, give them all that they want to know, all the written information that they would like to have, and also subsequently try and give them some financial funding, because we know कि इंडिया में क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम होती है और कैसे लोगों को तकलीफ होती है. And so on this World Cancer Day, I would like to congratulate everybody and wish them all the best. And all the best to people who have had cancer, all the best to those who are on treatment, and all the best to the doctors who can, I hope, understand more about the psyche of their patients and deal with them in that way. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Prashanti from Goa. In 2017, I was detected with left side breast cancer, and as you know that I got really worried, and we went to our local doctors, and they told us what treatment should be taken, but I was still not very sure whether this is the treatment or whether I should take another treatment, because many people give you different advices. I wanted to go to Tata Hospital, but it was not possible for us to travel, and because I was teaching, I teach in Prasarak Mandal's college. I'm an associate professor, and that time I didn't think that I can take leave, etc. And my husband is also a journalist. So then we thought that let's try on Navya. I put all my records on their website, all the reports were put, and within 3 or 4 hours I think I got a phone call from, they call it as patient advocate, and he asked me all my details, and within 2 days we got whatever treatment we had to take and what was my problem, etc. And another day, that is after 3rd day, I got second opinion again from them. They have 2 expert panels. First one is the they say that is the first one, and then you get it from the experts, higher experts. So I got those reports, and then I showed it to my local hospital, and my treatment started. But during that entire treatment of 8 months, patient advocate was continuously in touch with me whenever I needed, emotional support, or I felt that, something was not going right. He would help me.
My name is Priyanka and I work for PSP team to support cancer patient. As we all know, cancer एक widely spread बीमारी है, बहुत ही डेंजरस बीमारी है. अगर किसी भी फैमिली मेम्बर में किसी भी पर्सन को कैंसर होता है तो हर फैमिली के हर मेम्बर को इफेक्ट करता है. एंड हियर हम यहाँ पे कैंसर पेशेंट्स को हेल्प करते हैं फ्री मेडिसिन प्रोवाइड करके, फ्री थेरेपीज प्रोवाइड करके, सारी गाइडलाइंस फॉलो करके हम जितनी हेल्प कर सकते हैं आपकी हम बिल्कुल करेंगे. थैंक यू.
World Cancer Day, the day where the world gets united against global cancer epidemic. Remember, we need to have more and more awareness, spread the awareness and become fearless about the disease. Remember, do not smoke, very important thing. Do not drink, it's a very high risk factor. Also, we need to know that the only antidote for cancer fear is knowledge, and the best response for knowledge is early detection and timely treatment of cancer. So please be safe, spread awareness, and yes, be fearless of.
So I remember when I was in college, I was part of this NGO in which we would organize breast cancer awareness camps for women. And in one such camp, I remember meeting an old lady and speaking to her for hours, in which she told me that right now I'm getting possibly all the medical support that I could get, probably the best medicines that there are, but nothing has healed me more than the emotional support that I've been getting from my family. And that is something that has always stuck by me, that for somebody who's going through this level of turmoil in their life, physically and emotionally, what they could really use is emotional support from their loved ones. And on World Cancer Day, I would just encourage everyone to be more empathetic towards people who are suffering from cancer, because you don't know what your words of kindness could, the amount of impact they could have on that person's treatment journey.
नमस्कार आप सबको. मेरा नाम सविता गर्ग है. मैं मेरठ में रहती हूँ. मेरी उम्र इस समय 79 ईयर्स है. मैं आपसे अपनी वो समस्या, वो डर या खौफ शेयर करना चाहती हूँ जिसे सब लोग डरते हैं, जिसका नाम सुनते ही सबको लगता है कि बस अब तो जीवन का अंत हो गया है. जीवन की इतिश्री समझ लेते हैं कि बस कैंसर का मतलब है जीवन का अंत, मगर ये सच नहीं है. इसका मैं ज्वलंत उदाहरण हूँ. मैं निश्चिंत होकर रही. ईश्वर है, डॉक्टर है, बच्चे हैं, मुझे क्या चिंता है, जो होगा अच्छा ही होगा. और आज 5 वर्ष बाद भी मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ, पूर्ण रूप से स्वस्थ हूँ. दूर तक कहीं मुझे कोई परेशानी नहीं है. हमारे फैमिली डॉक्टर ने यहाँ पर कहा था कि रेडियोथेरेपी करानी पड़ेगी, कीमोथेरेपी करानी पड़ेगी और ज़िंदगी बड़ी मुश्किल हो जाएगी, सिर के बाल भी उतरेंगे. हमारा एक फैमिली डॉक्टर हॉस्पिटल में है, मेडिकल इसमें ऑन्कोलॉजिकल में ही. उन्होंने कहा कुछ नहीं करेंगे, हम सिर्फ HRT पर रखेंगे. HRT का मतलब होता है हार्मोन ट्रीटमेंट. उन्होंने वो छोटी सी गोली सिर्फ सजेस्ट करी थी कि इसको रेगुलर टाइम पे लेना है और इसके साथ कोई परेशानी इस बीच में नहीं हुई. अब मैं अपनी कहानी के माध्यम से आप लोगों से ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि ईश्वर में आस्था, डॉक्टर पर विश्वास और डॉक्टर के परामर्श, सर्जरी, दवाइयाँ, खान पीन रखें तो कैंसर जैसी घातक बीमारी लाइलाज नहीं बन सकती. कुछ लोगों को यह भ्रांति होती है कि बस अब कोई इलाज नहीं, मगर नहीं. आप अपनी इच्छा शक्ति को प्रबल रखें और तो समस्या का हल भी हो जाता है. इलाज में देरी और लापरवाही ही खतरनाक होती है. मेरे कथन को सत्य माने और कैंसर से डरे नहीं, डटकर मुकाबला करें, जागरूक बने और उनको भी शेयर करके जागरूक बनाएं और प्रेरित करें.
Hi, my name is Chandra. I'm working as senior health coach in TATA 1mg under Roche PSP Cancer Patient Support Program. यहाँ पे जो पेशेंट हमारे पास कैंसर के ट्रीटमेंट के रिगार्डिंग आते हैं, उनकी मेडिसिन असिस्टेंस के रिगार्डिंग हम उनकी हेल्प करते हैं, उन्हें असिस्टेंस प्रोवाइड करते हैं, या फिर अगर उन्हें डाइट काउंसलिंग चाहिए हो और फिजियोथेरेपी या साइको सोशल काउंसलिंग, ये भी हम उन्हें प्रोवाइड करते हैं। कई बार पेशेंट हमारे पास काफ़ी डिस्ट्रेस सिचुएशन में आते हैं, उन्हें मेडिसिन की बहुत जल्दी इमीडिएट असिस्टेंस चाहिए होती है। हम उन्हें मेडिसिन की इन्फॉर्मेशन और उनको इमीडिएट असिस्टेंस जल्द से जल्द प्रोवाइड करने की पूरी कोशिश करते हैं। सो ऑन दिस कैंसर डे मैं यही कहना चाहूँगी कि हर कोई अपनी प्लीज़ हेल्थ का ध्यान रखें, ताकि कोई भी इस सिचुएशन से ना गुजरे जो कैंसर की सिचुएशन है, और प्लीज़ टेक केयर।
Cancer doesn't have the potential to consume you because you are much more than the disease. Be aware and stand tall against the disease. Celebrate this Cancer Survivors Day by creating more awareness about this. Let us remove cancer from all of our lives.
Hi everyone. I would like to share some of my thoughts around cancer. So I've had some personal experiences where I've known people who have fought this battle of cancer, and they've all emerged as winners. They've all emerged as survivors, thankfully. One of the common things that I felt was amongst all of them was the fact that they all had a very, very strong willpower. They had this desire to battle it out, to fight it out. And I think that is one of the most important things when it comes to, this kind of an illness, when it comes to this kind of a problem. We've all, had these perceived thoughts, and I'm sure many people still have these thoughts that, there's only one end to this illness. But I feel that's not a fact. That is so not true.
Hello everyone. I like to relate to a story on this Cancer Awareness Day. One of my friend's father was diagnosed with cancer. For 6 months, his entire family life was turned upside down. As much as it was difficult for uncle, it was painful for the entire family as well. Identifying the right treatment course, identifying the right help at home to take care of uncle, identify which is the best treatment, any clinical trial that is undergoing and that can help address the issue that uncle is facing. Multiple challenges that my friend has faced. And there was no single source that could help him, guide him. There were multiple support groups, but not a single destination that could help him, guide him. A cancer patient's journey and for his family member is not only a psychological, but it's a financial burden as well. Today, the rate at which the cancer cases are being diagnosed and the cases are increasing, it is something of concern, and we need to raise awareness about it. At Exa Health, we are building a complete concierge that will help patient identify what are the different steps in the course of treatment that are there. Once the course of treatment has been identified, in case good doctor knowledge about that procedure, access to hospital, access to financing, or any other aspect that is needed throughout the journey, at Exa we enable that for the patient. Today, on this Cancer Awareness Day, let us come together and bring that awareness that for each cancer patient there is a support, there is a service available that can handhold throughout the journey. Thank you.
Cancer is one of the most dreadful diseases, and it truly brings one down to their knees. Hence, cancer awareness is of utmost importance because it not only helps in early detection but also in the treatment. I'm proud to be part of TATA 1mg, which on World Cancer Day has launched this noble initiative. Let's all try to close the care gap.
Cancer is the second biggest cause of death in the world. The fear and stigma associated with cancer make it even more dreaded disease. On statistics, it is known that 30 to 50% of cancer deaths are preventable if cancer is diagnosed timely. So, awareness about the prevention and timely diagnosis is the main key for fight against the cancer. In last 2 decades, medical science has done unprecedented growth in terms of cancer knowledge in diagnostics as well as in therapeutics. The latest one is targeted therapy, which has made cancer completely curable. So let's fight cancer. Cancer is curable.
Cancer is one of the most deadly and dreadful diseases that has impacted living beings, including humans. Millions and millions of people across the globe has suffered from this disease called cancer. A lot of cancer gets detected, but a lot also goes undetected. The solace in all these things is there's a lot of research that has gone in for lifestyle changes, early detection, prevention, and more importantly, cure for cancer. Right? Humanity has put a lot of emphasis in this research, and the outcomes are very clear. We can do a lot of lifestyle changes to be in control of this dreadful disease called cancer. There is a lot of prevention techniques that has been found and is available for humanity that can basically detect cancer at a very, very early stage. And cure and prevention and cure at a very early stage is probably the best outcome for humanity. Let's all get into lifestyle changes, get into early detection, get into prevention, and of course, for people who are suffering from cancer, there is hope. We all can get by cancer and we can cure cancer. Thank you.
Hello, this is Prateek from TATA 1mg. Cancer is one of the top 5 reasons for death in India, and lack of credible information around it is one of the biggest pain points that we are facing. TATA 1mg, India's most trusted healthcare platform, has launched a comprehensive cancer care platform that aims to be a one-stop destination for people diagnosed with cancer who can access reliable and accurate information curated by a team of experts.
Hi, as part of 1mg family, healthcare means a lot that people have empathy and trust. And TATA 1mg lives by these values. When we talk about empathy, it's not just about our customers, it's about our employees, it's about our people who are feet on street, who are delivering the service to every customer. And when we talk about trust, it's about right quality, right price, and right time delivery. These two factors form the absolute core of TATA 1mg. One particular case that comes to our mind is that in case of COVID in summer of 2021, how our TATA 1mg labs ran across the clock, delivered reports for COVID patients in absolute precise time. That was a time when whole country was under lockdown, but people who are in the labs, who are collecting samples, who are delivering the reports, anything and everything went absolutely flawlessly. So that's very, very strong core value of empathy. In terms of cancer, of course, it is just not a disease which impacts your body. It impacts the family, it impacts your mind. One case which I've seen very recently is my wife's aunt. She's in Chandigarh and she was diagnosed with stomach cancer. She has been fighting it for last a year and a half, but she has largely overcome based on 3 things. The right medicine, the right care provided by the hospital. But 2 very important aspects which have helped her recuperate is the right mindset with meditation and the right nutrition.
I'm glad about the initiative that TATA 1mg is taking on this World Cancer Day. And I would be super keen to actually work with the TATA 1mg team to ensure that as a society we are more educated, we are more informed, more aware about what actions and steps to take, and can hopefully bring relief to a number of people who are suffering from this terrible disease.
We are talking about cancer. It's a World Cancer Awareness Day. But cancer, is it a social taboo? Lot of us would say no. I also thought the same till yesterday. But while I was talking to a survivor yesterday, she suddenly said, आपसे मैं बात तो कर रही हूँ, but आप मेरी identity नहीं बताइएगा. Do not tell this because मैंने अपने peer में नहीं बताया. Doesn't it sound strange? Very strange to me. Cancer was never her choice, but she made a brave choice to fight it back. Do you think we need to talk about it? Do you think we need to think about it? What they need? They are strong enough, brave enough to fight it back, but they would need our support and strength. Thank you.
Today, the incidence rate of cancer in India in 2022 is almost standing at 100 in every 100,000 of the population. 1 out of every 9 people have a risk of developing cancer over their lifetime in India. Today, on the occasion of World Cancer Day, I, Nikhil Dogar, part of Team TATA 1mg, would like to emphasize the importance of early identification of cancer. It's very important to identify cancer early because the earlier it is identified, the better are the chances of curing and recovering from the cancer. So lung cancer, breast cancer, cervical cancer, these are some of the more common cancers which are out there. The population is developing these cancers. But all of them, there are things you can do to identify early. And if done on time, they can save lives. In case of lung cancer, for example, the risk factors like smoking, pollution, even active smoking, passive smoking, all of these are risk factors which you can take care of and identify early. And things you should avoid doing. I think smoking is something which you can avoid doing to avoid developing lung cancer. In case of breast cancer, for example, the self-examination is the key. It's important to know, ask your doctor what's the right process, how you should go about self-examination, and make sure that is done on a regular basis so that you identify the symptoms early on. In case of cervical cancer, for example, it's very important to talk to your doctor regularly and identify the risk factors which you should be cognizant of, things you should be knowing. And there's also, after discussing with your doctor, also talk about the HPV vaccine, as well as regular testing with the pap smear test is important. And if we are regular about it, then identification of the cancer becomes that much easier and that much easier to cure if you do develop it. So yeah, I think all of these are important things which we should keep in mind. And on World Cancer Day, I would like to just again re-emphasize, keep talking to your doctor, understand all the risk factors, and stay on top of this to be able to beat this condition.
Oncology is a very important segment for Dr. Reddy's. We today have one of the most end-to-end portfolios for the various diseases within oncology. And we try to look at it in a comprehensive manner. We not only look at offering the portfolio, but can we also offer the nutrition specifically for the patients undergoing chemotherapy and the radiotherapy. We're working with the oncologists to try and understand how we could disseminate the latest developments within oncology. We've also been able to bring together a digital platform that can connect the patients to the caregivers to the oncologists so that the best care is being offered not within the clinic but outside the clinic as well. But very important element in the fight against various diseases within oncology is also about awareness. Today in India, breast cancer is one of the fastest growing cancers, and we see younger people also getting it. And the way to try and improve the survival rate is try to detect it early. We've always been having conversation with the women and try to understand and help them to understand how could they detect early. But this time we decided that we will also include the men in the house and have the conversation with them so that they could support the women in this process. This campaign, of course, got recognition and we have got a recent reward. But I think as an organization, we will continue our fight against this with the help of bringing in a very comprehensive solution so that we are able to serve more and more patients, not just in India, but in the rest of the world as well.
Hi, my name is Pooja and I have experienced cancer through both my parents. My mother was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia in 2003, and after a brave and valiant fight over 4.5 years, she eventually passed away in 2007. 2.5 years after that, my father was diagnosed with prostate cancer. It was pretty early stages, so he chose radiation as well as hormone therapy as his treatment options, avoiding chemotherapy as something that he thought was traumatic based on my mother's experience. This treatment lasted about 3 years for him, and since then he'd been in remission until a few weeks ago when he passed away due to unrelated causes. So it worked very well for him. Through our experience, we actually know that it is truly a challenging experience, whether it is as a patient that you're experiencing it or as a caregiver. There's financial implications, there's emotional implications. It's very difficult to see your loved ones go through those kind of difficulties. But when I was asked to share my experience, really, it was the silver linings that came to mind. Through those, maybe 20 years now, since my mother was diagnosed in 2003, almost 20 years, we've kind of lived in the shadows of cancer. But through this period, we've actually seen the extraordinary kindness and generosity of people. So in the case of my mother, she was admitted in Rajiv Gandhi, and because of one of her chemos not going very well, her body stopped producing any blood. And through that time, for the next 4 years, we actually needed multiple units of blood on a weekly basis. And it was something that we really struggled to organize. But the hospital was very, very cooperative. The doctors were very cooperative. And we had an unquestioned supply of blood for whatever her needs were. And that at that time, it's not just the people who were associated with her, were in her caregiving network, but also strangers. There's just so many people who stepped forward to, whether it was to donate blood or to donate platelets. There was this one Diwali where at least a dozen people spent the Diwali weekend going back and forth, donating platelets and making sure that it reached the hospital because my mother was in a critical condition. And that is a kind of generosity and humanity that one probably doesn't see in everyday life, and it is the lasting impression and the last taste that's kind of left in my mouth through that experience, that people are incredibly kind, incredibly generous, really good, and it's just a matter of tapping into it. So my own mindset has become about starting with a position of trust and faith and believing in the good and giving people benefit of the doubt, because I have from a very early year been the beneficiary of people's generosity. So that's definitely one. Now, losing a parent to cancer is very, very difficult, because when my mother eventually passed away, really it wasn't the grief of losing her, but we started the grieving process from the time her diagnosis was done. So it was 4.5 years of like pent up grieving that we had to go through. And part of my way of channeling that energy was to start participating in these walks conducted by Cancer Research in the UK, which is where I used to live at the time. And so these walks would happen overnight, and there would be thousands of people who would be walking with the bib or a note on their backpack that said why they were walking, in whose memory, and for what love. And really, there was just so much love in those experiences and in those nights that we spent raising money to help solve for cancer. And that's something too, there's just this extraordinary outpouring of love, because it wouldn't be only the person who was bereaved or who'd lost a parent or a sibling or someone they loved who was walking. It would be, friends and family who accompanied them. So there was just a real sense of community, with people kind of coming together to support each other. And that support can take all sorts of forms, whether it is helping somebody who's bereaved, or it is helping somebody with money. It's a really, really expensive disease to combat. Or it is logistical support, like in the case of the blood donations that I spoke about. Or somebody sending khana, making sure that if somebody's kind of living as an attendant in a hospital, they have access to good home cooked food and they can keep their energy up. And it's something that we've experienced each one of those, and I know it's something that people regularly experience, and that's a really beautiful thing. And probably the one thing that has stayed with me through that experience. So if someone asked me what would I like to change, I would love if there was no cancer in the world, but if there had to be, like, there are a lot of other evils and a lot of other unpleasant experiences, but if there had to be, then I would love if we could keep a focus on the positive and on the silver lining. And if we are in the fortunate position of not being directly impacted by it, then, if you could do simple things like maybe donate some money to a charity that would support the cancer cause, because whether it is research, medical science advancing to find new cures, or supporting somebody who may not be financially as well off, because cancer can be like truly financially draining as a disease. So if you could support the treatment of someone, or if you could support somebody who's going through this experience, a family going through this experience with day-to-day stuff, just go kind of look them up, or maybe drop some flowers. Small acts of kindness really go a long way with this experience, and to make this experience easier for people who are in the thick of it. And that would be my only tip, because it's those phone calls and those unexpected flower deliveries, and the ghar ka aloo paranthas that came into the hospital when I was playing attendant. Those are the things that I remember the most, and that really is community, and that's our humanity as well. So let's celebrate that as we go through this. Thank you.
Dear patients, today I am Dr. Shivam Shingla, going to tell you briefly about what World Cancer Day means to us as oncologists. I am a cancer specialist at SL Raheja Fortis Hospital, Nanavati Hospital, Mumbai. World Cancer Day is very important day for us, as is probably Valentine's Day for lovers, as is probably Republic Day for people, for the Indian citizens. World Cancer Day is important for us. Cancer incidence is rising all over the world. And every year in India, we are seeing close to 14 to 15 lakh cancer patients getting diagnosed with cancer. Now, majority of these cancers are still in the fourth stage. 80% of the cancers are still diagnosed in the fourth stage. And our survival rates are not matching with the rest of the world. So today, on World Cancer Day, we all have to pledge that we will not only detect cancer in an early stage, but we will also prevent and cure cancer. The only way to prevent cancer is stop smoking, stop drinking alcohol, have a healthy lifestyle, correct your body weights. Obesity is a definite no, and exercise is a must. So all who listen to this message, my humble request is, please get active, please get fit. Cancer is very much around you, stay away from it. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Raj Kore, CEO of HCG, India's largest and leading cancer care provider with 25 hospitals. This year, theme for World Cancer Day is Close the Care Gap. Global cancer incidence is rising steadily, and India is no exception to that trend. To highlight the cancer situation in India, and with the aim to make cancer care accessible and affordable, FICCI Cancer Task Force recently published a knowledge paper detailing out the gaps across India and recommending a comprehensive approach to tackle this serious issue. Today, I would like to highlight 4 major gaps that we must address going forward. Number 1, gap in awareness and prevention. While the awareness about tobacco-related cancers is high in India, we still need to create awareness about other major cancer risk factors such as human papillomavirus, obesity, and alcohol consumption, and drive implementation of preventive measures. Number 2, gap in screening and prevention. Only less than or equal to 1% of India's population undergoes screening for major types of cancers such as oral cancer, breast cancer, and cervical cancer. And more than 2/3 of cancer patients diagnosed every year are diagnosed late when the cancer has already progressed to advanced stages. Number 3, gap in accessibility to comprehensive treatment. More than 70% of India's 640 districts do not have a comprehensive cancer center. So large population staying in these districts have to travel far away from their homes to seek quality treatment. Number 4, gap in the outcomes of treatment. The problem of increasing incidence in India is further intensified by suboptimal outcomes compared to global counterparts in all major types of cancers. While these gaps and these challenges may seem daunting, together we can change it by forging alliances, by uniting voices, and by taking action. I'm heartened to see TATA 1mg joining this cause with their cancer care program, and I wish them all the success in this endeavor. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shilpi Campbell, and today I am here on the platform provided by 1mg to talk about the journey that I have gone through as a family who has had a cancer patient very close to them. My father was diagnosed with liver cancer 3 years back. His total lifespan after that had been close to 1.5 years, 1 year, 8 months. And I would like to share what all we did as a family, how we coped up as a family, which might maybe help somebody out there, give them hope that it's not the end. So he was diagnosed with liver cancer stage 4, and like all of others, all of you, it was a big shocker for us because these things always happen to other people. They never happen to you or your family member. It's always you hear about others going through it, but when he was diagnosed with it, it was confirmed that he's having liver cancer stage 4. The initial reaction, of course, was that of shock and trying to stand what could be done to make this journey as comfortable as possible. Of course, we met a lot of doctors. He was around 72, 73 when this was diagnosed. And the doctors, and he was also a heart patient with multiple issues in his body. And the doctors, of course, advised the only thing that they know how to kind of deal with, which was chemotherapy. Initially, we were very hesitant because we had heard of side effects of chemo, but then we thought, let's give it a try. Maybe this might help him. And we did try chemo, but it didn't work for him. In fact, he suffered a heart attack immediately after taking a couple of doses of chemo. And that's when we decided that whatever life is now left for him, we would focus on the quality of that life and not the quantity. So whatever time he had, we didn't know what time was that, but window was left for thought we are going to do a minimal intervention, medical intervention, only if needed. So we focused on making a lot of lifestyle changes. He completely from his diet, completely cut off dairy from his diet. We were focusing on giving him a lot of raw food, raw vegetables. And I have to say that before COVID struck him, he was doing so much better that the doctors that he used to go to would be amazed. They would not believe that he was a cancer patient, and that to a stage 4 cancer patient. So I think that really helped a lot. We decided to not, and it was he who said that, I don't want to go through that pain every day of taking chemo, and I know my body is going to weaken each day. And I don't want to be going through that. And I don't want to put you guys through that. So whatever life is left, I will choose to spend it the way I want. And it was a very wise decision in hindsight, because not only did focusing on the managing it in the natural way helped him a lot. He was very active. He could move around easily. He could do all his favorite things. He loved cooking. He could do that. He was really, apart from the physical changes that we were witnessing in his body, he was really living a life, a quality life. He was staying with my brother for some time. He was staying with me for some time and really having a good time. It was only after COVID struck him, and also miraculously, he recovered on his own from COVID. And it was such a big thing, because for somebody who's cancer is so low. He miraculously recovered from COVID. He miraculously recovered from the 2 heart attacks that he had to go through after this cancer was diagnosed. So he was able to move past all of that. And I think it was his sheer willpower to not give up and to fight this battle till the end with his family by his side. And I used to always tell him that, Papa, aap sabse aage khade raho. And hum sab hain aapke piche. You have to just keep going on and on and on. And of course, as a family, it was very difficult to see him go through that. As a family, it was very difficult to not show the tears that we had. But what kept us going was the fact that we have to give him that quality life. And actually, when we look back, we realize that there was so much love. There was so much of quality time that we could give him by being there for him, because he was always a family person. And when there were ups and downs in his health, either me or my brother was always with him. And he really he kind of was enjoying that time, and even we were enjoying that time. And in the end, when it was time for him to transition to the other side, he was just so full of love. The time that we got with him, the moments that we got with him, we knew that his time is now coming to an end. He could pour his heart out to us. We could pour our hearts out to him, told him that, these are the things that mattered. We've forgiven you, you've forgiven us. So we could do all of that. And you could actually see कि जब उनके जाने का time आया, तो there was nothing more that he wanted to say to us. It was as if last का एक alphabet भी वो हमको बोल के गए थे. So it was like that. And it, of course, as a family, it was very difficult, because like they say कि ना सिर्फ सेवा करना मुश्किल होता है, but सेवा कराना भी बहुत मुश्किल होता है. There were challenges each day, but what kept us going was the fact that we wanted to really focus on the quality of his life. And of course, there were a lot of lessons for us. I am a spiritual coach, so I understand all of that. But in the end, the night that he left us, it was 3:30 in the morning, which is the Brahma Muhurat jo hum bolte hain. There was so much of peace on his face. There was a big smile on his face. And I remember my mom coming to my room and telling me that, just wake up and see what's happening to Papa. He's not waking up. And I rushed to his room and I held him and I said that, Mama, he's gone. But of course, there, the physical loss would always be there. But the fact that we as a family nurtured him with all that we had, with all the love that we could give him, with all the time that we could give him, with all the resources that we had, we did our best in terms of giving him what he wanted. And the smile on his face when he left said that how complete he felt. So that's our journey. And my only advice to anybody going through this, especially the family going through this, as difficult as it is for the person who's going through it, but even for the family who's going through this, the only thing that you should focus on is giving quality life, whether it comes from spending time with that person, whether it comes from not going for medical treatments for that person, whatever it is that they wish to do, whatever it is that they want to do. That would be my only advice. Much strength to all of you. It is not an easy journey, but it is also a journey which will teach you the importance of staying together, because this is one battle that cannot be fought alone. You have to be in it together as a family, each one getting the strength from another person, and only then can you make it through. So all the best to you. Lots of love to all of you, and anytime any kind of support that you would need from me, you can please reach out to me through the 1mg team, and I'd be more than happy to share my bit.
On this World Cancer Day, I would like to salute all the cancer patients and their caretakers and doctors and all the supporting people who go through the very difficult task of going through treatment through this dreadful disease. I have a few thoughts as a stakeholder who works on access and improving access for cancer care in this ecosystem. I think India has a long way to go in terms of where we are versus where should be to give the help required to the oncology patients. Let me start with awareness. I think that the system needs to generate more awareness messages, and NGOs, the doctor community, corporate citizens, we need to do more in giving print and digital messages to ensure that we can give symptoms to patients who can then look them, or potential patients who can then look at these and say, aha, I think I have some of these symptoms, let me go get tested. Most of us know and realize that early and accurate testing is the way to defeat this disease. The later you get tested, it improves the chance that this disease may actually overtake what you actually need to do. In terms of diagnosis, I do think that today, from the primary care level till the possibility of being tested for specifically for cancer and then a biomarker for your specific type of cancer, we have several challenges. I appeal to the general practitioner community and those that are usually the first stop to become better aware of the symptoms and make sure that you have the appropriate referral mechanisms to guide these patients to the next diagnosis stop. I appeal to the labs and the medical community to reduce and subsidize the cost of diagnostic tests, because they should not become a hurdle or a detriment in somebody's mind to be able to spend that kind of money to first find out whether they have cancer or not. I think we can achieve this by the initial costs being very low. I think the government should also try and subsidize some of these tests so that these basic tests are essentially free to the citizens of the world and that they are well able to be taken. Friends, cancer has moved very significantly in terms of care from decades ago where primarily surgery or chemotherapy were the only options. Today, innovative or targeted therapy, to immuno-oncology, to possibly the next generation of gene therapy is making its way into many countries. My humble appeal is for the citizens and the patients to do some research and understand what is it that you're dealing with. Your specific type of cancer, read about it. Try and understand what options you have in terms of medical treatment. This doesn't mean that you second guess your doctor. This doesn't mean that you go shopping around for second and third opinions, but it does mean that you play your own role to make sure you're aware. You go to the same doctor that you have been going or would have gone to and have a very detailed conversation about the possible options. Friends, it is sometimes that an HCP or a doctor recommends a certain treatment, assuming that either your mental and physical state or your affordability is such that you may only able to afford such a type of treatment. Whereas if you actually open up the conversation about possible options, the doctor feels much more relaxed and can give you higher priced but possibly better outcome oriented options as far as treatment. Or simply just leave the decision to you after giving you all the options. I think that's very important in this space. After your diagnosis and the recommended treatment, the next challenge will come in the immediate journey of going through the treatment, your health and mental wellness, your adherence to therapy, and the supporting ecosystem. while staring at the possibility that life could have limited options for you. It is at this time, friends, that I've always read that mental well-being is very important. If you take two individuals who have the same exact display of physical conditions and are going through oncology care, it is very likely that somebody who is very resilient mentally, very strong mentally, has a good will, may be able to have a better outcome than those that don't. This is not research that has been done, can't be proven. But just like somebody who tries very hard to cross the hard path makes it, this is one of those examples. Therefore, I think the ecosystem should have mental and physical health and wellness partners that we work with, so that oncology patients can actually get these kind of benefits as well. I think it really helps them. I do think that government, charitable organizations, corporate citizens, we need to think about how we can improve access to funding for oncology patients. My vision, personally, is that let no person be denied care to oncology, the best care that we have to offer today, even if it adds a few hours or days or minutes or months, for want of lack of money. Oncology care is expensive. We may not be able to do too much right away in terms of bringing down the cost of medication, but we can try and certainly create the funding for it. My appeal is for all of us to come together and see if we can work with the government to get legislation passed so that actually we can have the government approve that CSR funds can actually be pooled and be offered to those that need these funds. Friends, we have fantastic financial assessment mechanisms today. And we can partner with companies that do these assessments who can evaluate whether you need funding or not, or whether you're able to afford that kind of therapy. Therefore, opening up this kind of funding to the right people who deserve it. Once we cross this hurdle, I think the next hurdle would be adherence to therapy. Many times, we think that we started a therapy, we feel good, and perhaps we leave it, thinking, why take therapy? Looks like it's okay. Or the disease is not coming back. Here, I would like to emphasize, at least in my experience and what I've been told, that let's continue your ongoing scans and tests so you can make sure that the cancer is not coming back or you have not progressed. And I think adherence to your therapy and making sure your doctor is in touch with you is very important. I therefore appeal to all of us to make this world a better place for oncology patients, do our very best, and create an ecosystem where we can all help them. I am willing to work for this, and I hope you all will join me in my effort. My name is Satyan Amin, and these views reflect my personal views and are not associated with my employer or my works and their related views. Thank you very much. Have a great day.